You're Sean from the Quarantine, and you've just released your latest single, Nemesis, my friend. So tell me a bit about
Nemesis friend.
a friend of
So
mine.
it,
Sorry, Nemesis, friend of mine. My bad. I
okay.
yeah. So tell me about that. How did that come about, and how has that been tracking, and what are your visions for where you want it to bring for yourself?
So Nemesis, the lyrics came to me in like like a lightning bolt in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And it was they just sort of spawned out of me in about an hour, 40, 45 minutes or an hour. And the music came much, much later. I thought that it was, just going to be a cool poem that I'll have, sometime. And I didn't think that I would, I didn't write it thinking this is going to be a song.
You're right.
It
Yeah.
it became a challenge to me to turn it into a song because for me it was a long form poem.
Right.
Um,
Lyrics are
and
pretty. They're pretty. Uh, when I say full on, like they're deep, and it carries with it, I guess, an emotional energy that you want to admit to your audience and listenership. So to turn that into a song or to take away from what you may put into it would be a challenge, I imagine.
yeah, it's yeah, I mean it's um yeah, the music was I put it in there with well, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at fucking talking right now. Uh,
It's late where you are. I
yeah,
appreciate you even being here again. It's 11
it's
a.m. on
okay.
a Friday, and it's what 9 p.m. on a Thursday night for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. Okay. So Nemesis, the music, I wanted to put Aaliyah's "Tell Me You're That Somebody," that rhythm, that dun 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 dun, dun,
Yeah, yeah,
with all those breaks and everything,
yeah,
and put that into a rock context, to put that into like a real, you know, rock context that instead of just the pop context like it had been with Timbaland's song.
yeah,
Um, and so that was the inspiration for me writing the riff. And I took that bit of just that bit and gave that to the musicians in recording so that they knew, where I was getting the reference from, and then for them to expand upon it and do everything that they wanted to do with
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, it has a nice look and nice riff. That track
Yeah,
it's got a good chorus. Yeah,
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's it's it at least the it's right around the corner, it's right around the bend, a
mm.
future with no love and terror with no end. It's that is the first line that hit me. And
Mm.
when because I wrote out that first line, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, right.
And to me that symbolizes a whole lot of paranoia, which is a good part of anxiety. It's a
Okay.
good
Yeah,
depression. It's a good part of all of the negative feelings that you have. But at the same time, that's also a CCR line.
yeah.
So it gives you a different feeling there, you
Completely.
know.
And to me, like
Oh,
Nemesis
it's
right
right around
around
the
the corner.
another corner,
It's like a
It's
positive. It's like gives hope almost. That's for
exactly,
just
it's
saying it
very
in its
much
own. Yeah, for sure.
right. If I remember correctly, it's kind of, at least I always feel it like it's, like a happy drive.
Yeah,
That's how CCR feels like it. But in this, I wanted to use it to relay this overall sense of dread and fear that you have when in confrontation.
right.
There's
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of I mean, the song and the concept of it is epitomizing the character of a bully, of a
right.
narcissist, of a person who acts like they're for you, but is really, really not, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And in a
The worst.
way, yeah, like in some circumstances, we would all like to think most of the time they don't know that they're actually against you. They're they're just doing what comes naturally to them. But this is about ulterior motives.
Mm.
And
Mm.
some of the times, you know, uh, people just something turns on, you know, they see something about you, and to them, they feel like they've got to attack it.
Yeah.
And this song is about that confrontation. It's
Yeah.
about overcoming and understanding the personality profile of a narcissist and what
Mm.
they'll do if you let them.
Yeah.
It's also about taking that, it's really not, you know, about the narcissist. It's about the writer's, you know, response. What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
And for the entire song, I feel like it keeps you in the driver's seat of
Yeah.
you, you know, and in a way, it's kind of like, you know, those R.L. Stein novels where you choose your own ending.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, pick your own ending. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you know, I come to understand a narcissist and how they work, they really become manipulate. It's so easily manipulated. You can predict their responses almost verbatim. It's
Exactly.
quite amusing.
Exactly. Yes. Once you've been across that Rubicon,
Yeah,
you've been like,
if you
"Oh,
know,
wait a second."
you know. It's like,
Yeah. Once you understand
yeah.
the profile and you actually
Oh,
believe that that is the thing, and accept them for what they
what they
are.
are exactly, instead of being as though they were a normal person, because that's when it's just so shocking and like, oh my gosh, what is this person doing? But yeah, it's
Right.
that exception of no, they are this horrible person. And then it's just like, is it really that simple? Did I miss something? It's yeah.
Yes. Yes. And a lot of times I've found where truly it comes down to just you choosing to not
React.
react, to
Yeah.
not give them what they want. And that's why the song is "I'll Never Go Back."
Yeah.
At the end, in the bridge part, the song is saying, "I'll never rewind to that place and time, that Nemesis friend of mine."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's really, if you think about it, a narcissist will put you through the entire 5 stages of grief,
Oh,
and that's
absolutely. And some.
really what the song is about. And once you
Yeah.
get to acceptance, is when you finally are able to overcome it.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Interesting. I take it actually. Yeah. That's
yeah, so the song is really you know, if you're writing it as, you know, if you're like you're writing a ride and you're the writer and you go through the song, you'll see another character go through the 5 stages of grief.
yeah. 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 No, that's very, very interesting and very insightful take on that, because it's true. It's when you get to there and you think, how did I survive? And without, or A, without committing homicide, or B, without going insane yourself, trying to think inside the mind of somebody like that. It's yeah, it's certainly, it changes you, and hopefully most people for the best, not not to become like that. But it's certainly a journey when you've if you've unfortunately ever had to be on that, which yeah, onwards and
Yeah.
upwards. And best part about it is if you can use those kind of experiences and make music out of it and turn it into a positive, then you've won. It's an extra tick on to your side. And it's yeah, rather than it just being like another issue that I've got to deal with, it's like you use it for your advantage. And certainly it's handy. It's nice. It's a nice fu right back at them too as well, I think, when you can do that.
Yes, yeah, and I hope that that the song is really, you know, in the end, a win for everybody who, you know, and listens to it in that way. You
Yeah,
know,
no, it's a great track. And as I said, you said like the chorus, like it's really it's you hear it. It's funny because I'd been listening to it, and then I downloaded a couple of the tracks, and then had my earpods in, and I was doing something, and was just on random play, and it come on. I'm like, oh, I know this song, and it was yours, and I didn't realize. And when the chorus came in, I went, oh, that's it, and it is. It's that chorus that really it hits. It's kind of like it grows on you. It definitely does. It's the you say like the reference between like rock metal and rap, and it's yeah, you can definitely see those two in there, and almost even I tentatively say a little hint of the Nashville influence as well. It's got a good sound to it. I like it. It's a hybrid of all the good things. So yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you know, there's the studio musicians themselves were saying, "Oh, I'm going to put the California rock thing in there." Oh, yes, because that's where I'm from California, and the
Yeah.
band, you know, started began in Los Angeles, but we're all recording it in Nashville. We were recording at Blackbird Studios in
Yeah.
Nashville. And so, there's all of it was put together and arranged before I even delivered it to the Nashville studio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, the Nashville influence is really the sonic quality of everything, the warmth of everything. We were
Yeah.
these API boards that have been there since the 1970s or there's some when the big one in Studio B is that's the one that Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift and like all of the
Wow.
pop is used to record all of their all of the multi instrument tracks that they have, and the
Yeah.
big orchestral stuff where they have strings and horns and piano and organ and
Yeah.
drums and bass guitar and then electric guitar and then the solo electric guitar. And there's like 9 satellite rooms around this thing. It's
Wow.
a
That's
Studio
incredible.
B is massive. It's a massive room. And we were in there just jamming it, just bass drums. And they were listening to the tracks and just laying it out in that.
Oh,
And
that's so awesome.
it was great to use that room in this way because even the studio manager is like, he's like, we don't get a lot of times where it's just a few people to lock into it. And he's like,
Oh,
it's
that's great.
to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you obviously, in being in the studio and bringing it together once you're taking it from that concept or something you know, put together yourself and bringing other musicians to it. Tell me about that. How did that make, like, was it a, so transpire freely, or were you open to added input, or how did that end up to be what it is, the full finished product?
Yeah, well, I actually recorded it myself and with a couple other studio musicians who
Yeah.
I knew at the time, and essentially I gave them the song form, with the lyrics and the vocals and the rhythm guitars, all the rhythm guitars and the bass done, and I gave
Yeah.
them the idea and the concept of the song, the influences, what I was trying to get it to sound similar to. And then I let them have creative control over it to create their parts within the framework.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then once I had gone through that process, so I had gone through that process, and then I was trying to mix it myself for a solid, couple of years. And I
Yeah.
couldn't get it to be sound the right way. There were parts that I liked, and then there were parts where I'm like, I don't even remember exactly what I did. And I feel like
I know what
such a,
that's like. I recreated again. I couldn't tell you. I don't know how I got
yeah,
to do it again.
yeah, like I don't even know. And so the
Sound production
parts,
is beast like that.
yeah, and eventually what I realized was that I wasn't I was looking at it from the creator's perspective. And
Yeah.
once I looked at it from the unknowing, unassuming regular person
Mm.
and um, took away all of my precognitive knowledge that I have of everything
Yeah.
and tried to essentially I would close my eyes and put it in between listening to a whole bunch of stuff that's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Then bring the track. So it's like, you're cleansing your ears, you're cleansing your mind
Yeah.
of all of the things that you think and feel about the song and because you hear it in your head a
Mm.
lot of times better than what it actually is on the stereo tape sometimes when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah. It
And,
can be hard to produce your own music like that.
and it's
Sometimes you
hard to,
can
yeah, it's
walk
hard
away
to,
and come back. Yeah.
right. It's hard to separate those mentalities.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I found that so I had all these finished versions and I knew that they weren't good enough, but I knew that the ideas and the concepts of what I was going for and to give myself another chance at nailing all of the production and all of my parts again would actually be a a favor to myself
Mm.
because I've been listening to them for 3 years now. I memorized every single second of everything that is going on. So it's like when I showed up to do all the records, to do all of my guitar parts and everything, I knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
A lot of they would be like, "Well, that take was just fine," and I'm like, "No, at least give me 3. At
Yeah.
least every time. And then we'll pick from the best three, but three minimum. And so I gave myself that space to really use all of because for me, I'm improving all of the time. I'm always
Of
practicing
course. Yeah.
to get, to get better. And so 3 years of that and listening back to where I was 3 years ago is actually a really big jump.
I'm sorry. I
And
live in like a small beach town and there's like sirens going off everywhere. And we normally don't get that noise. So I'm like,
okay.
what's going on? Sorry. Yeah.
Um, so once you give yourself that good second chance
Yeah.
in this in this situation at a world-class studio,
Yeah.
then
That's pressure
that's
too. That's a lot of pressure. It's like, oh, I don't want to put these off. Yeah.
but for me, I felt perfectly calm because I knew all my parts. So for
Yeah.
me, it wasn't pressure. It was finally just, oh God, I could be done with it. Thank God. I finally get the version that I'm looking for. Like
Yeah.
that was the relief. That it
That's the
wasn't
hardest thing when you've got so
going
many
into it.
versions of your track. Like it's like which one's which, and yeah,
Yeah, no, but
it's
I knew
complex.
exactly what I wanted to do. And
Yeah,
so when you take away that, and just for me, I spent the entire, once I booked the session, which was about a month or so, month and a half or so out, I spent the 2 weeks just, clearing my mind of everything that I needed to do and focusing on if I was going to practice anything, it was just going to be the techniques
yeah,
of, of the particular parts, not even the full parts themselves, just the technique that it needs to be done.
mm,
So that way I could leave myself the chance to do something creative in those other parts and not be held back by what I had before.
yeah,
And that whole process just within me was a very critical part of accomplishing the task that I had, which was make something better than what I had before.
yeah,
Infinitely better, not just a little bit, infinitely better than what I had before. So I
yeah.
had to give myself that launching pad. And if you don't give yourself your launching pad, your rocket isn't going to go off, you
Well,
know?
that's it. And also, it's also a big part of like when you're in a studio and having someone else produce your work. It's handing over that control to someone else and trusting that they're going to develop you in. We call them turd polishers. They make us sound fabulous. It's like way better than
Yes.
what we think we do. But yeah, it is. It's relinquishing that, or allowing, whichever way you want to see it, someone else to come in and enhance that. And yeah, it's
Yes.
yeah. I mean, it depends. Coming to it when you've developed what you have all for yourself, and it's something that you're proud of and it's good and you want it to work, or in this instance like with myself, I was like, I've got no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going to trust someone else. And so yeah, it's coming to it like that, to have to hand over and step back. It's hard to do, but it's when you can't, I think that's probably what causes those blocks, that you're not getting better. It's not enhancing, for sure. So yeah, so
Yes.
with your other music, so previously, is it something different that you'd done before? The quarantine, you've been around for a little while, as an artist.
Yeah. Yeah. The band's been around since 2011.
Yeah, wow.
Um,
Yeah,
and we had a record, well, two records previous to this,
yeah,
um, Antiquate Hate and our self-titled EP. Um, and well, the Antiquate Hate one was produced by George G1 Archie, who
wow.
he's a multi-Grammy winning, multi-Grammy winning producer and
Yeah.
engineer. And he was the original engineer on Death Row Records.
Oh, it's incredible.
Is there So
That,
it's really cool. Like amazing stories, but
yeah,
he had his knowledge of how to put a record together
yeah.
and to deliver a larger than life sound in rock and rap is unparalleled.
Oh,
And that record
those all
still,
know their style fits. Yeah,
yeah, that record still is, there's still some legs in it, believe it or not. And
yeah.
I've got some plans to, do some fun things with it after a version to normalcy.
So like
Um,
a re-release, or you maybe a different edition, or
yes, yes.
yeah,
There's,
awesome,
I'm looking at a few different options, and
exciting.
there are,
Watch this
there's,
space.
there's some really fun options on the table. I can't really say what they are right now, but I
Yeah,
can
can
say,
I guess?
yeah, I can say that.
Collaboration, I guess rapid collaboration maybe down the pipeline.
eh,
That would be
you
way
never know.
cool.
There's some fun things. There's a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
So, but that's off in the future a little bit.
Yeah.
But for this, for our we've been doing punk metal and grunge for a good long time now. A solid 12, well, 14 years now.
Yeah.
And we've had a relatively similar, kind of message. And that message is be free in your mind.
Yeah, of
That
course. Yeah.
to not, it's very easy to get locked into the propaganda of the time, um, the pressuring forces, invisible pressuring forces, peer pressure type forces
Yeah.
that get you to believe really, really ridiculous things. And in
Yeah.
America, I don't know exactly. I like to think, and you can probably convince me otherwise of this, but I like to think that Australia is smarter than the United States.
In what
And
sense? Like, oh,
well, let me say this, that you guys don't have as much like obvious propaganda that we do.
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah. Like in
I
terms
feel
of,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
we're very laid back, and I guess it's that kind of that lack of patriotism to a sense is also kind of relieves us from that full propaganda and um, political social stuff that just really consumes the everyday U.S. citizen, which can be
that
a lot
sounds so
to challenge.
that that sounds like a Bali Beach and a fucking Mai Tai in my hand right now. You have no idea. When you say to lift yourself of all the hatred of the partisan, oh my God.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. And
It honestly,
it's at
every
our
day.
peak time. It really,
Yeah, I mean, like before it was, every day, but it was something stupid and innocuous. Now it's like the very founding of everything. The very
yeah,
founding of every concept you ever had of America is now just being eroded. And
yeah,
it's like concerning doesn't even do it justice. It was concerning 6 years ago.
yeah,
Now it's like off the fucking rails.
yeah,
And I don't really know how to deal with that, and what to say in public. And I know
yeah,
every artist is struggling with it, but the thing that my music has been doing since 2012 has been saying, watch the fuck out for fascism. It's
yeah,
right there. You're
yeah,
right there. You need to stop and look at what is going on with you.
yeah.
Like that. And that's been the whole point and purpose of every song that I have.
I've been screaming this for years, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
terrifying. Like what happens in the States at the moment. Like your society is just, it's almost like leaves you speechless just to think the most outrageous things happening, and then the level of accountability people want to put on other individuals it's so hypocritical, like without looking within before they're looking without and pointing fingers, and it's just own your own shit, people. Like it is what it is. Yeah, it's
yes, yeah. There's so many different little,
yeah,
little issues on it, but that is very much a very appropriate and good generalization on the feeling of, looking at all of this go on. And no matter how much you agree with it or disagree with it, you have to admit that the process that we have in America is not working to
yeah,
communicate with people about issues that mean a lot to us.
yeah,
And even though they mean a lot to us, you still have to be speaking with at least a little bit of eloquence and a little bit of grace to the person who you're talking to.
yeah.
And
That seems to have been lost in translation with you guys, where
oh,
it's
yeah, totally.
it's like so far gone. Like we're still here, like being mindful of everyone's position, and like don't say anything out, don't speak out about it's just that mindfulness. And I guess it's from an outsider looking in, where the states are at the moment, it's like there can only be one answer, or one truth, or one right, without acknowledging that there's many parties and positions people have. It's okay to have more than one truth or perception or position, and to not, you know, attack and destroy some just because they don't agree with your point of view. It's terrifying, like, to think that that's, you know, they're demonizing themselves in this citizen warfare of, like, you know, mindset. It's crazy. It's
Yes.
it really makes you wonder where it's heading, and why can't they just be accepting of multiple ideas, and that are, you know, publicly acceptable and socially okay, or, you know, the hatred of one because you don't believe in this and that. It's a foreign concept, you know, for me, how, you know, people can exist like that, and it's just exhausting. Like, it's a lot of energy to, like, you know, be putting hate and shade on someone that's really, you know, how's that affecting you? That sounds like a you problem, not a them problem. It's, yeah. And I guess as an artist too, that would be tough, like, you know, especially if you know, the controversial, or the deliberately provoking type artists that get out there. And, you know, we just come with the back. I did a live review of the Dead Kennedys, for example. You know, the political, you know, the shit that they stir, and it's, you know, how would that sit, you know, if in today's society, if they were, you know, artists that were coming out and doing that, they wouldn't get a shot. Like, they wouldn't even get, they'd just be literally shot down and, like, taken off, cancelled straight away.
Yeah, I mean, I do. There's a part of me that really wants to test that theory.
Yeah,
There's
like
a part of me
that. And
that
the
wants
DKs
to
will
be
get
like,
away
you
with
know
it
what
because
I'm going to do
that was
is I'm going to
filmed
play
already.
Nazi punks fuck off.
Yes.
The first time that I get on national television, there's a part of me that goes, yes.
Yes.
So
Especially nowadays, it's just like, oh, it's so appropriate.
especially now. Yeah, and absolutely. And I have always, you know, as my artist voice has always been in the punk metal and grunge side of
Yeah,
things, of trying to, you know, it's in it's in the way of everything that you're talking about. It's in the way of when people only want to think one particular way about one group of, about all
yeah.
groups of,
And that's how
and
grunge and that sort of came about, because it wasn't like the mainstream and the rest of it. It was, you know, that underground stuff that then became popular culture. And it's,
right.
yeah.
And
And
I
rap,
do
I guess, essentially as well. It's that giving that voice to the minority. It's
absolutely. And that is one of the fun things that I think in talking with rap fans is that I consider rap and punk to be, as far as the message,
yeah, yeah.
fucking,
I
like
agree. So
there's
like,
a,
this is
like
like it's like
like the real rap. Like,
yeah,
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 like if you listen to Mos Def,
yeah,
like Mos Def and Rakim, Eric B, like they as there's so many Chuck D, like it's, and not just Zach De La Roca, not just the politically driven you know, rappers, but they're all speaking in in a way it's supposed to be controversial. It's supposed to be
yeah,
standing up to something. It's
yeah.
supposed to be fighting a battle some way. We're
From the
laying down,
fringes, from the edges. Yeah,
yeah, like I'm dealing with something. And if
yeah,
it's a thing in society, then man, fuck that thing. And I'm trying to deal with this thing
yeah. And
that
Aussie hip
is
hop rap's the
stopping
same.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is the same fucking concept as punk. That's the exact same
it
concept as
is.
punk.
Yeah,
And
absolutely
so
is.
I've found that putting them all together, I hope that, you know, music genre nerds don't get all, you know, twisted out about it. But
I
I feel like they all
give him
belong
something
together.
to, like, think about, make it hurt their brain.
Yeah, sure. And I hope if this project hurts your brain in that way, then I'm very happy.
Yeah, because
'Cause
I'm all for, like,
it's
my
a man.
favorite
Yeah,
punk rock, old grunge, and hip hop rap is like, and to join the two together, like, because I just, you know, I think I'm weird because I like them just so far into the spectrum, but they're not really. And we've had, like, a couple of Aussie, like, hip hop artists who've just recreated and did covers of, you know, some of our best grunge, like, artists, and turn them into, like, they're hybrid, like, punk rock, hip hop. It was Bliss and Esso actually did. They did Grinspoon, and then they did the Rubens, and they slap. They're great songs, and it's appreciation of, like, each other's style, and it's good. I like it. And, you know, ultimately, like the Chili Peppers, they sort of, like, brought that about, didn't they? With their punk funk, and, you know, they're almost that rap style, and then that, you know, came into, you know, artists like 28 Days and whatnot, where it became more of a thing. And it's yeah, to see that coming back, or hopefully we'll see more of it coming back. It's got a place, and it's got, you know, listenership that want more. We want more of that stuff for sure.
Yeah. I absolutely, it's been a great journey to go and find as many of those people as possible.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping that I can, work my way into a
the
bit of
algorithm.
the mainstream, to try and bridge those gaps, because I
For
think now
sure.
even pop music nowadays has become kind of contrarian. Like
Yeah.
I think I think I know that, like, well, the Lady Gaga and Metallica mix at the Grammys.
How good.
See
It's
it?
brilliant.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I thought it was great. Like it didn't even matter that the microphone went out. And I
Yeah.
know Hetfield is super pissed about it, but he really shouldn't have. No reason to be, because that do the mixing of them and their
Oh,
vocals, her higher pop vocals and his lower rumble was
yeah.
fucking perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
So just that alone to demonstrate that was well worth it.
Oh,
And
absolutely. And I'm all for that. Like the two of the most, extreme ends of like music joining together that are, absolutely amazing in their own rights. I love that shit. I absolutely love it. And I think there needs to be more of that. And if that's the new trend, then I'm all for it. I'm there. I'm front row.
and I want to show us that our passions are way more similar than they
Yeah,
are.
we're more the same than what we're different. Absolutely.
Just
That's
the
the
different ways of us expressing it
yeah,
is beauty in the diversity. And
absolutely.
I think showing that in art nowadays can hopefully start to, at least give people an example
Yeah.
of the process that it takes to not be hating of everything you don't know in
Yeah,
music.
and like just have an open mind and an open ears and just embrace it all. I really struggle that people they lock themselves in a particular genre. Yeah, you might have like, yeah, that's my jam and that's my thing, but to opening yourself up to new stuff, I mean that's where you get the as an artist, myself as well. That's where you learn and you get all the good stuff. You get to experience it all. I'm not cutting myself off for nothing. It's yeah,
It, it's, it's easy to forget how you get there once you've been there and enjoyed it for a while. And
yeah,
I felt that. And
yeah,
the thing about my music is that it lays out that pathway. At
yeah.
least at least for me, it gives me signposts on my
Yeah.
feet back
And
to
a
those
lot of
places.
the biggest artists, especially like, you full on, rock and, heavy metal. I mean, a lot of them come from a classically trained background, which is, you know, essential. It's that core foundation that we all start somewhere, like guitar lessons and when we were kids or whatever it may be. And your music's the universal language. It's the universal everything. Every note's been played before. It's just that, you know, how we put it together and how we then present that. It's we're all speaking the same language, and I think that does get lost in translation. I think sometimes people
Yeah.
forget for sure. Yeah, well, it's been great to chat to you again. So your album's out now. um Plans for a tour? What's the future look? Good 2026 and the end of 25 look like for the quarantine?
Well, so the whole album is not out
Oh,
yet.
sorry, my
We still
bad,
have
your
two more
singles out.
songs to
Yeah.
release. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
we have Trendsetter, which is maybe my favorite on the record.
Maybe.
Honestly, it close tie between the next one that's
We have
I
balloons, haven't
sent
we?
balloons
Yeah.
to myself, and I don't even know how I did that.
It
But
must be something I feature that I've got on there, but oh no, that was pretty. That was
but yay, the other
nice.
one is Instagram Hell, and that's the other single that
Instagram hell. Okay.
and that is very much in that punk
Yeah.
mindset, just straight up like, what the hell are we even doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I didn't get Instagram for a long time. I'm
what
like,
is this
what?
shit?
Photo? Okay. Huh?
And
Mhm.
it's exactly what it sounds like. So
Yeah.
that one is going to be super fun. And
Yeah.
and then after that, we have an entire section of music videos that we're going to release for all of Aversion to Normalcy. We're going to have a
Okay.
series of music
Nice.
videos that will play like it's a short film. So they're all meant to go in a
Oh,
order,
yeah, yeah. I get that.
tell a story, all the way through.
Yeah.
So we're working on that right now. And we have a plan to release that into 2026, along with a radio campaign and, you know, then a music video for Instagram Help. And
Awesome.
all of that will be into 2026. So there's a whole lot going of content that we've got to release and release and promote until we are going to start talking about tours for 20.
Yeah. I mean, because you've got like what, 80 or 1,000 followers on Spotify, don't you? It's, you know, you've got the numbers. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's gone up. I mean, honestly, we started in June of this year with 3.
Wow. That's wild. That's
It's wild. Yeah, I never expected that it would have this kind of a bigger response and bigger results. And I can't wait to put this music in front of, you know, the fans and the
where it
people
takes you.
and really show our, you know, be able to give them a true gift of
Yeah.
of you know, and sharing it back and sharing those feelings back and forth. I can't wait to do that on tour, on live. It's going to be fantastic. But there is so many hoops that we have to jump over to get just to that spot. And we've got people working on it, but I'm hoping that we can get a tour, especially I want to come to Australia. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
just the culture and everything. I think I can get a lot. Like,
you definitely fit in here. Be like, I'm so not doing that. You're like, just chill. You know, like it's just I'm too tired and too old. I'm not doing that, man. No. We're very relaxed, you know. Yeah, and as I said, I live in a beautiful part of Australia as well, on the east coast and not far from Byron Bay. And I have everything at my fingertips, and I go, I don't move. I already live in the best part of the world. I know this. Like, I'm cool. I'm happy in my pad. So it's feel very blessed. But yeah, no, down under. We let anyone in. Not quite. That's a controversial in its own right here at the moment. I guess a bit of getting into the politics, but yeah, no, we love our US visitors down here and bring their music into it for sure. And we got to grab. We're still live music. It's still a lot going on. It's far from being over and done with, and it's kind of nice to see the new stuff come about. And yeah, and you know, being the thing I love too is like all the awesome bands when I was a bit younger, they're all touring again now. So I'm just like, oh man, my roster's full. And it's just like every weekend's a new gig. I was like, this is great. I'm reliving my misspent youth again, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
A lot of those tours have been great. Yeah, like I mean, especially the Creed, you know,
Oh.
one. There's
We've
a
got
whole
everybody
bunch.
coming back out soon. And I was seeing those when I was like 18, and they're really good. I don't know what they've been doing now and then, but I'm like keen to see them again. Just a trip back down memory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun to see them perform. I mean, I really love Mark Tremonti, and his guitar work is just so iconic in a way. There's nobody else who really sounds like him.
Yeah.
And it's so great to see him going and doing, you know, at least, you know, more stuff, because I love hearing him play.
Yeah. No, they're good, and they've got some of their stuff is like the old stuff sounds nothing like their new stuff, and I like that. It's it just doesn't even sound like the same artist, and that growth and that ability to expand your sound is it's always good. Post Malone's he's one that's really good at doing that. Like no two posty songs sound like the other, and you don't think you're listening to the same artist. It's yeah, it's good, and that's
Yeah, absolutely.
good way to widen your listenership for sure. But yeah, so that sounds like you're going to be busy. So I think after that, you might have to have a bit of a nap before you come down under. So it's a bit of a plane ride. You might be able to sleep on the way over.
Yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah,
I've got a
sleep
lot
for
more
the
to
week.
do.
That's what I say. Bon Jovi, sleep when I'm dead.